Today we're going to demonstrate how to set up the EAF PXE boot server to do fresh Ubuntu installs and also to do sanitation and reporting. You can see I have it downloaded here already, but I can show you how to find it. If you open up your browser of choice, go to GitHub, Techmore, you'll find it comes right up, and then the top repository is EAF PXE. If you scroll down in the README, you're going to see there's a download virtual appliance here. If you click the link, it should begin the download. Well, you can't preview it, but you can still download it. Since I've already downloaded it, I'm not actually going to allow it to download. But that is an open public link for everyone. We'll close that out, and I'll leave this site up in case we need to refer to it. Once the download's complete, I happen to move it to my desktop. You're going to want to install a program called VirtualBox. VirtualBox can also be found with a quick Google search. It is free and open source. Windows, Mac, Linux. Alright. Once VirtualBox is downloaded and installed, then we can double-click our OVA file, our virtual appliance file. It's going to need to reinitialize all our connections. We're going to hit import, and we wait. Once the virtual appliance is done installing itself, the window will close, and you'll see it as you see here. It took like 10 or so minutes, and this is on a MacBook Air 2015 for reference. All right, let's go and start this virtual appliance and see what this is. As you see, it has the VirtualBox guest editions installed already, so it should run a little better. Okay, you're going to notice it has a restart pxe.sh script on the desktop. That's in case you're running into issues. Especially what I notice is if I install this on a laptop and I close the top and don't completely shut it off, and then I open the top again, for whatever reason the network doesn't really kick start itself, and you will see the clients don't receive a DHCP address. So if you're ever running into that style of issue, you can always just go sudo./ drag and drop this in. Oh, apparently that wasn't the way to do it. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. There we go. The password on this unit is password. That's part of the script it requires it to install. There's user and password. As you can see now, it'll say that the networking address is up. And again, you shouldn't necessarily have to do that, but if you ever run into issues, again, specifically with a laptop, and you close the top, you will most likely run into that issue. Let's do tex PXE boot right now. I'm going to say Linux, Ubuntu. The defaults are good enough for our demonstration right now. Perfect. Just want to clarify one thing over here. Now, if I go over to System, I want to select boot from network, and I don't want to boot from anywhere else. I also want to make sure for this demonstration we're on the same network setting. As you see, I have a bridge Thunderbolt right here. Okay, so I am going to see if I can, for the sake of this demonstration, do the same right over here. And normally for your computer, you would want it bridged to your Ethernet if you wanted machines to boot off of it through VirtualBox. And again, you can install this natively, but if you would like it in a virtual machine, this is how you would do that. Okay, let's see if it works through this adapter. We're actually not plugged into anything, so I think it's not going to work. We can work that out. I'm just going to turn off my Wi-Fi so I don't interfere with anybody. And then you can see it comes right up. So the options that we have here are boot off internal hard drive. That's if you are booting off of an existing system. dban, this will just go into a single pass automatically. Any images that are currently listed, create a new image off of something, or for us, we're just going to do a very simple Ubuntu fresh install. Let me get some of these windows out of the way. We don't need them anymore. You can do more than one machine at a time with this. I highly recommend if you're taking any sort of laptop or desktop, put in a couple bucks and go get an SSD. While we got a second, while that Ubuntu's booting up, let's just take a peek real quick. Oh yeah, I turned off my network, so we can't. All right, well, that solves that. I would be shocked though if you couldn't get like a Kingston SSD now, whatever, 60 bucks, maybe even gets you 120 gig. And it'll greatly increase your performance about installs on multiple machines simultaneously. Okay, so now that we're booted and running, just want to show you something here. If you look back in our actual server, we're going to open up the web browser and we'll go to our local host because it is running a web server. You'll be able to find the address at 10.10.10.10. From here, if you would like, you can download the sanitation report script. This is if you have people with a USB stick and you want to be more on top of how many machines they're actually wiping. You need a printout. You don't like what dban's doing without the printout. What you're able to do is go to these servers, extract this file. You'll see it here now in my downloads folder. Ooh, this MacBook Air does not like the amount of memory it has. Okay, we're going to go to our sanitation documents. They're going to be able to 7.5 it. Because I was testing it, I actually disabled this, so you're going to see it run a lot faster than it's going to actually work in the real world. So if I do the install.sh here for my sanitation report master, give it a second, it's going to do, I don't know what it does. That was a long time ago. I would love to just, resize that and shrink this and then get this back again. All right. Okay, so now that that's done installing, and if you want to take a peek at what was inside there, oh, I guess it deleted it all. There's a few debs and things like that, SSH pass so it can copy over stuff. Okay. Most importantly is once that nuke thing is done installing, and again, if you ever wanted to copy some of the ISOs or anything like that, all that stuff's here, so you could be building new machines from it. You can see the whole TFTP boot directory if you need to do some fixing and things like that. The servers just broadcast this stuff. Your Clonezilla images are going to be stored here, and oh look, looks like we actually sent a report, and you can see what the nuke report looks like. So here it is, and now we're actually going to run it. That was a test one I did. Okay, so we're going to do TM. I think my computer can't handle all the VMs in the recording. Okay. Cancel. I just want this thing to start responding again. Alright, we're going to try that again, except this time, whoops. This time I'm just going to allocate slightly more memory. Don't really think I'm supposed to be demonstrating this on a MacBook Air, but as you can imagine, it runs really well on normal computers, especially if it's just like a Core 2 Duo laptop. That's enough. Okay. Okay, once we're booted, and again, you can see there's no hard drive here. We can still install Ubuntu. It takes a second, it's still booting. Okay, so we don't really need to do the installation, but you can, and it'll work. What we really want to do is go to this Firefox. It takes longer to open than it should. And we're going to go to 10.10.10.10. It's actually the server address that's providing the DHCP on this VM. You're going to see here at localhost, it has all the same things here. What you're able to do here is, if I have individuals that are nuking hard drives and I require more printouts, like if I wanted a printout that goes on a USB and at the end of the day I can say, hey, let me provide these printouts to somebody, or have accountability for what somebody was accomplishing while they're in the warehouse, we're going to be able to use this utility to do that. So by that I mean we're going to shrink down here. I'm going to open up a terminal. We're going to go into our downloads directory. We're going to go into our sanitation reports. We're going to go into our set the install to work. And then we're going to install. So there's a couple packages it'll set up. And then you have a, let's give it a second for the index to run, TM nuke, Techmore nuke. So what we can do is Sean Dolbeck, okay. Which level do you want to run? This is going to run faster than it will because I actually disabled the pass right now, just so I can show you guys the reporting. So that will be fixed. So it gives you this data as it comes out. Nuke's complete, it pops up. It pops up over here. Text view. It tries to open up the save file in Firefox. It looks like Firefox is already open and not responding. But you can always go into our downloads folder and see the actual log that was made. The cool part is, it should now be over here in the reporting. It gets sent back to the server. As you can see, oh, the time on this is pretty off. 7, 8 a.m., 11 a.m. Well, you know, that one needs a little bit of work. I'll admit it. But you can see what the printout looks like. Now, it just so happens that it's in an HTML document, so the font on it is terrible, but you can obviously export to PDF from here. It will maintain the sizing and everything like that. And here's some information about the unit, the drive itself, where it came from. It talks about the computer and the memory installed, and relevant information for the actual hard drive model. So from here, you can install Ubuntu, you can nuke it, you can get reports, we can do a quick boot into dban for those of you that want to see that feature, as well as if I go over here into Techmore GitHub, and if I was to turn my Wi-Fi back on, see, we can still go into dban to sanitize. If I'm to go into EAF PXE, you'll see there's actually an option for Mint Linux for those of you that like Mint Linux. We were testing elementary OS that works relatively close to the Ubuntu setup, but also there is Windows 7 for those of you that already have a Windows 7 x64 ISO and the WinPE that know how to make it. And this has worked in the past, but it does usually require a little bit of customization. So I'll get that out of here. Again, you can see just the common dban that many companies are familiar with. They'll see the screen and they kind of know what's up. I think we have it auto set to a single pass. You can set it to triple pass. All the stuff you'd expect to find. Again, if you want to find this free software, it'll be Techmore at GitHub, or GitHub Techmore, none of that matters. EAF PXE. And right over here, you'll see the Google Drive link. You can download, install this appliance to try it out, but more importantly, I say that you can download this software package completely. Just run the install script, and it will make a fresh Ubuntu PXE boot machine that you can then even keep on Wi-Fi. Like, let's say it's a laptop, you can keep it on Wi-Fi on the internet, but anything that you connect via the Ethernet will then receive PXE boots. dban finish with non-fatal errors. Again, the hard drive is so small, and these are SSDs. It's just very, very fast. No USB sticks detected to saves logs too. That's another option dban provides, but it's very verbose with the amount of information it provides. So we started making the other HTML document. Anyway, I hope that's more than enough information. Let us know what questions you have. All right, we'll see you next time.